fuckers. You're listening to Talk Me Off. I'm Chris.
And I'm Mark. How's it going?
It's going good. How you doing, Mark?
Yeah, can't complain. Got a bit of a word question for you.
All right, straight into it.
Yeah, might as well.
What do you got for me?
Any idea what the word psychrophilia means?
Psychrophilia.
Yeah, not psychophilia, psychrophilia.
Psychro was one of the villains from Earthworm Jim.
He was the space crow.
Yeah, he was a crow in a spacesuit.
Yeah. That's not what this is, though.
Oh man, I'm very disappointed by that because I thought I had a new avenue for sexual exploration there.
I mean, this is part of something we like to do called feature fetish, where we talk about a particular fetish in depth, and we like to go a little bit astray, but not so niche that we're talking about Earthworm Jim characters. So psychrophilia.
It's only the second episode. We'll get into Earthworm Jim fetishization eventually. We promise.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. I've got absolutely nothing.
See, what it is the sexual attraction to being cold or watching someone freeze to death.
Wow. That's quite a big escalation.
I think it's trying to capture both ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So there are people who like to put ice up their orifices, and then there are those who take it to a little bit more snuffy, if you get what I mean.
Like death.
Yeah, like watching someone freeze to death.
We're not here to kink shame at all, but everyone's got their own thing. But probably don't kill anyone.
I think they just watch the end of The Shining on repeat.
That's everything is somebody's fetish, right?
Exactly.
What happens to a person to you're just out on a chilly winter night and you just feel it? You feel it deep in your loins.
See, this is where I think obviously there's always that little event that happens in one's life that sort of sparks a fetish. I mean, I'm just talking out my ass. I'm not a psychrophiliac, nor do I know anyone who is, but hey, if you're out there, feel free to comment us at Facebook or Twitter.
Absolutely. If we do a feature fetish and it's your fetish, you win. Please contact us and we'll arrange some sort of prize where we probably talk about you.
Yeah, but yeah, I assume, because when you get cold, your nipples get kind of hard.
Oh yeah, no, I get it now.
And if you've got sensitive nipples, you might fucking associate cold with getting hot, fucking ready to go.
But then how does death factor into that?
I think it's one of those things that the fetish just becomes more and more twisted as you delve into it. There's that whole trope of people who get addicted to porn and they start looking at more and more extreme things because the normal stuff doesn't do it for them anymore.
Right. So one night you get some chilly nips and that feels pretty good. And a couple of years down the track, that's evolved to the point where you want to see someone die of it.
I mean, this is I'm sure that
that I feel that in my nips. That's good. Wouldn't it be hard if someone died from this though?
I guess I mean, I'm sure the people that want to watch someone freeze to death is the minority of this. I'm sure it's mostly a little bit more tame, people who fuck themselves with frozen toys or just rub ice packs on themselves while they masturbate or something along those lines. I'm sure it's not all. I'm sure not every psychrophiliac is let's go lead a friend into the snow and watch them die.
I think the big question with all of these fetishes that I'm going to want to know about is what does their porn look like? The internet is a vast place. There's got to be psychrophilic porn somewhere.
See, that's the thing. Every time I look at one of these fetishes, I try and find some kind of forum, some kind of web page that'll come up with, hey, you like this thing? Come and talk to people who also like this thing. Not so much for this one. There's definitely no Pornhub tab for it. I'll tell you that much.
It's awfully specific. There's no convention.
Oh, maybe
they just blast the AC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'd be things there's FetCon and various conventions for kinky sex and things like that. I'm sure there's a few of them that rock up to there. And with anything, I'm sure there's no one who's just into freezing themselves or freezing others. I'm sure it's I'm this and I'm also 5 other things, but this is one of the things that makes me come hard.
Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy if that was your only deal.
Yeah.
I got some chilly nips one night and now it's the only way I can finish.
That's just one of the things. That's just, I'm purely creating a hypothetical sort of scenario. It could just be that you were with your partner and they thought they'd spice it up with an icy blowjob or something and that just got you hooked because your cold dick was the greatest thing you ever felt.
Damn. Well, that's a nice little piece of education this week.
We like to make it educational here.
If you're at home and you do have an interesting fetish, please share that with us. We
we
want to know all about it.
Like, I spend a lot of time online, but that's no compensation for real people with, hey, I love it when my boyfriend puts mayonnaise on my toes. That just gets me to where I need to go.
That's not weird. I can see that.
I mean, I think that's part of sploshing. Is that what it's called? Where people like to pour things over them, like wet, slimy things.
Damn, you know your stuff.
Oh, there's a whole wealth of knowledge that's been pushing out maths and English.
Professor Mark with the feature fetish.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. We got some questions this week.
Yeah, shoot.
Ideally, we have some questions every week. We're gonna start things off easy. We're gonna have a little foreplay here. We're just gonna talk about some relationship issues.
Okay.
Not necessarily of a sexual nature, but why else did we get into relationships?
I mean, that's not the only reason. Come on, we can't.
There's love.
Yeah, that thing, whatever.
This is a question from Confused Carl. Thanks, Carl. I was hanging out a lot with this girl. We were very good friends. One night we were drinking and went back to her place. She asked me if I liked her. By this stage, we'd been saying we loved each other for over 2 months. I said, of course, so she refused to let me go home and made me sleep with her in her bed. Whenever I would stay over, I would usually sleep on the couch. A week later, I asked her out and she turned me down. What did I miss here?
Can I just check something? He said she made me sleep with her. Now, does that mean that he was raped? Or that she was like, no, stay with me in my bed? He's actually specifically said here, refused to let me go home and made me sleep with her in her bed. Sleep with her, not necessarily have sex with her. But yeah, there is that sort, like, when you watch movies and TV shows, it's like, oh, you slept together, implying that you fucked, because, TV has ratings.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just wanted to double check, but I guess, we get these questions and we read what's on them, so we can only really draw our own assumptions. I'm going to assume because he asked her out, he wasn't raped.
Yeah, it seems like Carl was probably down for this. I think I've missed a lot more than you, Carl. Although I will say the first thing you missed was a whole week. You wait a whole week? I mean, you've been saying you love each other for 2 months, but you sleep on a couch, and then she wants to know if you like her, even though you said you love her. I guess maybe there was a platonic love situation.
Maybe,
But then you waited a week, dude.
Yeah,
that's a long ass time.
I think that's maybe what you missed, because I mean, we don't know this woman, nor do we know you, Carl, but if she may have been wanting this sort of grandiose kind of relationship to blossom from this kind of one drunken night sort of thing, and then you let it cool off to a week later.
Yeah, that you gave her a lot of time to think things through in that instance. I think maybe if you just slept with her for the first time in her bed with her, maybe the following morning is a good time to ask her out, because there's I don't know about everyone else, but there's nothing more romantic than breakfast.
Breakfast is good. It can be sexy, especially if you're like, you wake up before she does, you go out there, and because you've stayed so often, you know where all the shit is, so you make her a nice breakfast and bring it back. I mean, if that's not boyfriend material, I don't know what is.
Yeah, if you've slept together, you've got presumably you don't have any place to be the next morning. Let's go out. Let's get some bacon and eggs. Then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're dating.
Yeah, I think the hesitation was probably the biggest foul in this whole scenario. If it had been me, and I slept with some girl that I'd been friends with and said I'd loved for 2 months, the very next day, once we were both sober and conscious, it would be a case of, so, are we dating now? Do you want to date me? Do you want to take this somewhere else? Or were we just drunk and needed some company?
Yeah, being like just straight up and open about these things, very, very productive.
Yeah, I think the fucking around in like, oh, maybe, I don't know, like that's what ruins things.
I gotta say, Carl, it's probably not the most satisfying answer, but I think you may have dropped the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to like pat you on the dick and say you did everything you could, but like sometimes you just gotta own your mistake and try and move on, I guess. Yeah,
and if you love someone, like you love them, don't tell them you love them like a sister. Tell them you love them. You love them. You want to sleep with them. You want to maybe do some stuff.
I mean, what if
then get breakfast?
What if you want to love them like a sister in a special way, like incest?
Why you gotta go? Thanks for spelling that out, though. I appreciate that. Thanks. I didn't know what you meant until you said that word. Thanks, man.
You were giving me a super blank look, but I couldn't tell exactly what was going on behind your handsome eyes.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Sorry, Carl. better luck next time. If you sleep together again, just ask her out for breakfast. Don't make a big deal of it. Don't. How do you want to be my girlfriend? Just let's go get bacon and eggs. That was great. Maybe we can fuck later.
Yeah, maybe even like no one's saying wait around, but if you guys are still in contact and you are presented with this rare opportunity once again, maybe think about what your two favorite podcasters said whenever this happens.
Also, if you want to just go like all in balls deep with it, just maybe ask her now, hey, what the fuck? You're asking us what did you miss here? Maybe you should ask her.
Or you could link her to our podcast. She can hear what we had to say about it.
And also what you had to say about it. That's a bad idea.
No,
keep this to yourself. I mean, share our podcast, but not you, Carl. Keep this to yourself.
All right. Are there any other questions?
We got another a similar situation here.
Okay.
This one comes from Unlucky 13.
Right.
You'll see why. I was interested in this girl. Now, Unlucky 13's put some names here. I don't know if they're real names, so I'm gonna go ahead and change them anyway.
Yeah.
I was interested in this girl. We'll call her Fiona. It's a great girl's name.
Very generic.
And by all accounts, from me and friends' perspectives, she was also keen. That's keen with a capital K. One night she bailed on me. Mutual friends let me know what actually happened. Went to a gig with a mutual friend, Johnny, who she once had a fling with. The next day she texted me a weak excuse saying she was sick. I fired back with the facts that friends told me, and she admitted she fucked up and got really upset. She then tried to call Johnny 13 times. 13 times! She never once tried to call me more than twice, and no one has ever tried to call me 13 times. Johnny's girlfriend at the time was the one who told me happened while they were in bed together. This small story absolutely broke me, and to this day I've never regained the confidence to try and start a relationship with someone. To this day I believe that all love is unrequited and mutual love is just something you see on the TV. Fuck, that's depressing, but also a little bit... Fuck you, buddy. I'm in real requited mutual love. It's real. It's not just on the TV.
I mean, way to rub it in, buddy. Like, he's...
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but...
Fuck you, I found true happiness. You go sit alone in your house.
I think maybe Fiona maybe likes to play games a little bit. Maybe is into the drama. Maybe likes to be pursued a little bit.
I feel like this Unlucky 13 likes to play games. She called twice. Once should have been the right number of times to call. You then answer and be like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, what do you mean she tried to call you more than twice? Like, in a row?
Yeah, I mean, I assume, like, one would assume that when they were talking it was via text, otherwise why would she try and call you after? That's when you answer the phone and say, hey, you kind of fucked up and jerked me around a bit. Do you want to maybe explain yourself? Or, like, that's when you have it out. You don't wait for them to say, no, I mean, she only called twice, so I'll wait.
I don't think this is the girl for you, really. I think this is the girl for Johnny.
Oh, but Johnny's got a girlfriend.
Johnny's doing pretty well. 13 calls. Maybe you should talk to Johnny, see what he's doing.
Do you know what it sounds like? And I'm just sort of throwing out a scenario here. Because Fiona and Johnny had a fling at some point, and then she now seems like crazy about him, trying to get him back. Maybe this Unlucky 13 was kind of the filler, like the in-between fling while she tried to get over old Johnny boy.
Yeah, you might have been played here a little bit. You might have been used. And that's never nice from somebody that you have feelings for.
The worst of it is it's like an emotional thing. Like, she may not even be aware that that's what she was doing.
Yeah, she doesn't seem maybe as invested in this as you were. To this day, I believe that all love is unrequited. How long has it been?
I would really hope not very long, because this can be one of those things that people hold on to for a really long time, and it kind of sabotages them for anything else that happens.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. The first time I ever like nutted up and asked a girl out, I was quite young. We're talking like 12 years old, kids in the schoolyard and shit. I chatting to her after school, and I was like, "Hey, do you maybe want to go out with me?" And she laughed in my fucking face.
Wow, that's fucking brutal.
Like straight up, no pause, no hesitation. Just like threw her head back and laughed at the very notion that I would even have the nerve to ask. And I gotta say that was pretty damaging for some time. I didn't really get that confidence back for quite some time. Man,
we had very different childhoods.
Oh, you were pretty popular then?
Oh no, we just had like when I was a kid. I think I was maybe, I don't know, however old you are in grade 6. bunch of passing messages between one another. Groups of your friends go and talk to groups of their friends so they can pass, like, well, he said he'll date you if, like, you'll date him, and, like, this really, like, silly, kids shit.
Yeah.
But
back before they all had mobile phones.
Yeah. Now I'm not just, like, sliding into their DMs or anything. I know the lingo. But, like, it was very, like, innocent. I'm pretty sure, like, after we agreed to date, we hugged once at the end of lunch, and then I never spoke to her again.
Yeah, that's
I might still be dating her, actually. Who knows?
Should probably give her a call. Let her know some of the filthy shit you've been up to since then.
Oh, God, I don't think she'd have me.
But, man, unlucky 13. This bums me out. I feel bad for you. But that was you got burned by a bad date. That was not something that was... It's happened now, but you shouldn't have got invested in it. You can't undo it, but... You shouldn't let it take you down.
I mean, we all make silly mistakes, and combination of loneliness and horniness gets you into pretty stupid relationships. But, like, that's part of life, and you go make another stupid mistake later until you find the one that isn't a mistake, and then you're with them until you both get sick of each other.
That's how long the typical monogamous relationship lasts.
Yeah,
when you're sick of each other. I hope that was helpful in some way.
I feel like we just gave him a bunch of shit for being a bitch.
Again, sorry. Maybe we should stick to the fuck advice.
I mean, we can. I feel like we do better at that.
On that note, let's move to where the fuckers are at. It's our first Craigslist of the day. I haven't read this yet. Mark pulled this one up.
Oh, is this the one that I found?
Yeah, this is a post titled "Going to Heaven."
Ah, that's great.
This is you've cut out some of the details here. It's a 40-year-old man. I'm assuming it's a man by the photo of the flaccid penis.
That was an interesting artistic decision. Like,
I'm gonna go ahead and do my best to describe this. The foreground of the photo is the flaccid penis, taken from the perspective of its owner, lying down on a bed, legs splayed out in front. And then a TV with what looks like some sort of drama film playing.
That's pretty standard fare for cock shots, I think. Like,
really, though?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about cock shots. Turn off your fucking television. I've never taken a photo of my dick. I mean, not to share,
So what, you've taken it just to sort of self-assess and be like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to get the angle on it? I'm like, yeah, no, that's a nice dick. And then I delete it, and I make sure no one can ever see it.
We live different lives.
Yeah, I put some fucking effort in. Like,
see, that's the thing. So I said it's an average cock shot. It's not a good one. Regardless of what you're packing, you can dress it up to look nice.
Yeah, start by turning off the fucking television.
Yeah, I mean, make sure your background's clean and...
Yeah, pick a nice backdrop. Like, maybe if you're trying to demonstrate what you're packing, like some sort of erection...
Some sort of erection.
Like any semblance of an erection might help sort of sell it.
Maybe even like a size guide, like something to compare with, like
banana for scale.
I mean, but yeah, like I've got many female friends who have told me of the horrendous dick pics that they receive over the course of life.
Oh, that was a shocking revelation for me. The first time a woman I knew was like, oh yeah, that guy you know and respect, yeah, just sent me photos of his boner for no reason. That really changes your opinion of somebody.
See, in my books, there's nothing wrong with a dick pic, but there is definitely something wrong with an unsolicited dick pic.
Yeah,
if you're asked for a boner shot, that's fine. If you're just like, hey, I really like this girl, maybe she wants to see what I'm packing, like, that's not cool.
That is no way to proposition somebody.
No, that's a bad time.
Like, the trench coat flasher has the worst reputation, the sick fuck that just, like, shows his naked body to people without their knowledge or requesting it. This is the exact same thing, but on a phone, and you're like, oh no, maybe she'll like this, though.
Yeah, no, because it was a phone. That's way more personal.
Maybe I'm just too old for this cell phone generation.
I also think the concept of a cell phone, the trench coat flash is kind of trenched in the 80s and 90s, where there's a lot of youths who've never even aware that was a thing.
That was a thing. For all you kids listening, you're too young, don't be listening to this. But also, that's how you used to share images of your dick, by getting your dick out and showing it to strangers. And it's very illegal and very, very frowned upon, for good reason.
I actually think there's some, I don't know if it was in Australia or where, but there was some move to make it like a offence if you show your dick to someone.
Wait, it wasn't?
I don't know if it is or not. Maybe it is.
Like worse than just regular indecent exposure?
No, I think that they can, like, I think it's one of those cases where the law tries to, like, catch up to technology. So indecent exposure can be also included to sending a dick to someone.
A quick guide to exposing your dick. If you corner a stranger and show them your dick, creepy, bad, don't do it. If you get naked and run across a sporting event, funny.
Funny, yes.
That's fine. That's fine and dandy. Anyway, I should probably read this Craigslist post, right?
Yeah, we totally got off rails about talking about dicks.
So this is going to heaven. I'm assuming this is a 40-year-old male for female. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. Have a read. I believe he mentions vaginas.
My wife had an insatiable appetite for good oral sex. She left, and now I have 22 years' experience to offer she who wants to go to heaven multiple times. I will stay down there till the job is done. Hosting only ladies, maybe the right couple if you call and we talk. I am disease and drug-free and very respectful and caring, also discreet. We have never met, if you want. Satisfaction guaranteed. Reply with pics and phone number. Get priority. Your pic gets mine. Near. Oh, I shouldn't say where then.
Yeah, no,
we'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
And waiting. I prefer shaved or close to it, but will consider all. Up all night and open to replies anytime, day or night, especially the after club girls. I can drop you off if you want. Thanks for reading, all.
He's such a giver. Such a giver.
He just wants to give. He's got so much, 22 years of experience, and just wants to give it to somebody.
It just sounds like a resume to me. That's why I picked it. like the whole. I mean, there's confidence in your ability, and then there's whatever that was. Like I'm gonna stay down there till the job's done. Like
that's baseline. That's just being polite.
Yeah. And there's also what happens if you're just so terrible that the job will never ever be done because you just don't get the right pressure or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, but what if your 22 years of experience is garbage? What if that's why she left?
22 years was as long as she could stand.
It's 22 years of solid experience, unbroken oral sex, and he just never got the job done. And now he's unsatisfied, has to get it done. Anyone will do, especially the after club girls.
Especially because everyone knows that girls that leave in clubs clearly want their vaginas eaten out. They don't want to sleep or eat a kebab and have a nice nap or like... No, it's...
Yeah, those are all consolation prizes.
Yeah. But the one thing that always confuses me is, of all the women in the world, there's not one technique that will work for all of them, if you know what I mean. Like,
oh, yeah, there's... every vagina is different.
Both physically and in terms of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, to be that, like, confident about taking them to heaven, it just made me laugh, I think.
Yeah, 22 years of experience with one woman. What if she was weird as fuck?
Yeah, what if, like, some girl foolishly agrees to meet up with this 40-year-old man, and he starts just, like, biting her labia and, like, just completely misses her vagina entirely and, like, slaps on her belly button. Like, yeah, you like that?
That's how my wife used to like it. I miss her so much.
Oh, God, I hope that ever someday happens. He just breaks down and crying about how his wife left him.
Your pussy looks nothing like my estranged wife's. I hope this guy never hears this.
No, I hope he does.
I gotta say, though, given the context of the post, I kind of get the flaccid penis now. He's like, no, you don't have to worry about that. That's not going anywhere.
Also, your pics get mine. He already gave us a pic.
Maybe you gotta give him a little something for him to share the face that you are to be sitting on.
That's true.
That's where I'll show you the bottom half if you want to see the top half.
That's gonna cost you.
You just show me what I'm working with.
That's fair enough.
It's like, no, that pussy looks nothing like my wife's. No time for that.
Now, for discretionary sake, I'm going to call you Carol. That was my wife's name.
Oh boy! All right, we got a doozy of a question up next.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be a tough one. We may spend a little too long on this, but there's a lot of ins and outs here.
Yeah.
This is a question from Johnson McDong. Has porn ruined sex? Has it affected the expectations that people have of how people do it? Or do those expectations don't even exist, but a lot of people think it does, and thus makes them worry about their own performance?
See, yeah, that's a tricky one. Because, I mean, earlier I was just talking about those people who start watching porn, perhaps develop a degree of addiction.
Yeah,
and then they start looking at weirder and weirder shit just so they can get off.
Porn can ruin sex for you if you abuse it. I don't think it has just overall ruined everybody's interpretation of sex. I think it's a healthy approach to pornography is knowing that it's all pretend, and that's generally not what actual fucking looks like.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who thinks that they need an 8-inch, like a 9-inch dick, and need to be able to cum like 20 ropes of cum just to be an adequate lover has never been with a woman before, I think.
Yeah, you don't compare yourself to what you see in pornography and think that you're underwhelming. Sex is a beautiful. There's a vast palette of sexual colors to paint with, and porn is just a very narrow scope of that.
Actually, one thing that's interesting is those positions you see in a lot of porn films, like the ones that look super like impressive, and they must have so much leg strength to be able to pull those off. If you would ever actually attempt those in real life, they're horrendously uncomfortable. I mean, the reason those exist is so that the camera can get in there.
Yeah, porn sex is to look good on camera, not to feel good.
No, that's why a lot of them are faking it. Like, they've already come 20 times earlier that day, so this weird, awkward jackhammering thing isn't going to do anything for them.
I mean, no shame on anyone who is into that.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I just think from experience, it doesn't feel good at all. The angles your dick has to be to get into that kind of position, it's a weird strain on things that shouldn't be strained.
Yeah, I don't think it's really ruined sex at all.
Because there's a lot of, as you were saying before, a lot of intricacies to this whole thing. This guy could be talking about whether or not it portrays women in an unfair sort of light, that they have to have these like humongous tits and be total sluts in the bedroom and love having cum on their face. And like, I don't know if he's talking about that or if he's just talking about more of a physical aspect. So like, if you want to fuck good, you have to lift her up off the ground and fuck her against a wall. I mean, that stuff's fun, but it's not a requirement.
Yeah, like if you have got your expectations for what good sex should be like from watching pornography, then you may have ruined sex for yourself, but it's not too late. Try something weird.
Yeah, I think if you really want to develop your own wants and needs in terms of like how you like to fuck, the best way to do that is fuck people. Best advice, great if you have like a long-term relationship with someone who can like, yeah, we'll try this thing even though it's a bit weird, or you can find some random girl that's like, I'd also like to try this thing. And if it sucks, you could be like, well, I'll never do that again. Watching porn and then applying that to real life, you'll find out very quickly that a lot of it is just so that it looks good on camera, not because it feels great in real life.
Yeah, and when you're in a long-term relationship, when you fuck the same person a lot, then you're going to come to find things that you both mutually enjoy. You're not going to see that sort of thing in porn. That's a kind of romantic lovemaking that you can only get from a lot of practice.
Also, it's because everyone's body is different. There's positions that I've enjoyed with one person that I've hated with another person. And it's not any fault of one or the other party. It's just because the angles maybe don't work. They may be shorter or taller or have a different build. It's doggy style for one person may be amazing, and then the other one I could literally fuck for hours because I'm not getting enough stimulation to do anything. Like,
each pairing is different. Each fuck should accordingly be special.
Also, the whole discovering what feels good for each other is probably one of the best parts of a relationship when it starts out. Like, going in with your own expectations sucks because then you're either disappointed or you get exactly what you want every time, and that's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's the discovery element.
Yeah,
and you can't have that with pornographic expectations or any expectations. You need to. It's a mutual journey. You need to find out what works for the two of you, or the three of you,
or the 8 of you. I mean, there is group sex porn. Then that's another thing as well. Some of the more outlandish porns, the amount of prep work that goes into those. Like, I watched a documentary about how much effort goes into an anal scene. Like, we talked about anal last week a little bit, but like, those women or men that are getting fucked in the ass, they like have very strict diets 2 days beforehand. They enema the night before and the morning of, and there's frequent stops to like recheck and make sure there's nothing happened digestively. that will cause a bad scene. Like, if you were to have sex like that, no one's going to come because you fuck for half an hour, stop, take a 45-minute break, and then get back to it. Bad time.
Actually, yeah, that brings us back to last week's question about, worrying about your poopy butthole for anal sex.
Yeah, maybe
like,
just...
If your expectations come from pornography, then, yeah, you're gonna be disappointed. That's all movie magic.
Oh, it's so much movie magic. Like, oftentimes that big, juicy cum scene right at the end happened 20 minutes into the original porn, like the original shoot, but they just edited it at the end because it looks better.
It make it look like they just went at it for 40 minutes in various uncomfortable positions.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's the guy just sort of maintaining this sort of half boner just to look good for the camera while he fucks post-gasm. Like, it's not a fun time for him. I think he enjoyed it the first half hour, but then it got old pretty quick.
Yeah, movie magic really renders an uncomfortable experience to look like something magical, when it's not at all. So, yeah, I think porn has ruined sex for anyone who thinks that sex is
porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those who are short-sighted enough to look at porn and be like, yeah, that seems accurate. Like, that's on you, not on porn. Porn is a voyeuristic tool to jerk off. It's not, or to, incorporate into fucking, but it's not a guide. And any porn that says this is a guide is probably lying to you.
Don't let other people's expectations bring you down either. If you enter a sexual encounter with someone who expects it to be like porn, don't feel inadequate. Don't worry about it. They're the crazy one. You're all right.
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of men and women who fuck exactly like porn stars fuck, and they come every time, and it's great. But that's not the majority of people, at least from my perspective and from anyone else I've ever spoken to ever. It just doesn't work that way.
I think we actually hit the nail on the head there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was actually expecting to talk about this for ages, especially with, I guess I'd bring it up now. The whole, my dick isn't 9 inches long, it must be inadequate because all the porn stars have 9-inch dicks. Those people are, like, specifically picked out so they have big dicks. Like, again, they're the minority. It's not
they're the weird ones.
Yeah, no.
You and your average penis are totally normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you've ever seen on, like, Google Trends, the amount of people that search average dick size in insert country, like, it's staggeringly high. Like, the amount of men that are insecure about their dick size is just, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's an alarming trend. Don't worry so much. Make somebody come, and you're gonna feel so much better about it.
Yeah, if anything, you'll feel even better than the guy with the 9-inch dick, because then he's like, yeah, of course you came, my dick's huge. But the guy with like a 6-incher, and he makes his lady cream all over the place, he's gonna feel super good about himself, because he came in with standard equipment, not the advanced edition.
Yeah, sex is so much more about just what you're packing as well. Like, for your partner, it's the whole experience that you give them. They gotta be into you. Like, I'll come so much harder from doing stuff with a lover who I love, whose personality is good. God, that sounds weak.
Gay.
Should we move along?
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, if your dick is really, really small, there's always finger blasting.
Finger blasting. Well, we got some finger blasting stuff up later.
Yeah.
But right now we got a shockingly relevant Craigslist post.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're not worried about porn ruining sex, then this guy's got your back. This is a male for male post in casual encounters.
I believe so. Yeah.
Do you want porn? Need porn? Bad internet or work FIFO? Drop me your hard drive and I'll copy what you want. Les/gay fisting tranny bondage face fucking water sports etc. No email ping pong. Make this quick and simple. Tell me what you like in your email and your location. This guy's like the porn fairy, right?
Yeah. I also think it's funny that he put his posting on the internet for people with bad internet who want porn. Like, if you can load up a Craigslist ad, you could probably load up a porn page.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this would be better off on the community notice board.
I mean, kids read those, so maybe not.
Put a little note up, you got to tear off the phone number.
Yeah.
Contact me for porn. I've got all. He's got quite a broad selection here. Like, he's got all the. I I downloaded all the porn on the internet and I don't know what to do with it now. I just want to share it with the world. Give me your hard drive.
This guy just sounds like someone who'd like recently discovered internet porn, and he's just like, this thing is great. Like, I should just be sharing it with everybody. Like, do you guys hear about this internet porn? Like, there's you can see people fucking on the internet. It's crazy. I've got a bunch of it at home.
Oh, you don't have the internet? Give me that hard drive. Let me hook you up.
Who really doesn't have the internet in this day and age?
It's only just dawned on me that this is almost definitely an elaborate scam to get Trojan viruses onto people's computers.
Probably. Because, A, you don't know where this guy's downloading them from as well. Like, if he's downloading them from some really skeevy websites, you're going to end up with some horrible stuff on your hard drive.
I personally wouldn't trust this guy with my hard drive.
No, I wouldn't. If I want porn, I can find porn on my own.
I'm an adult. I know where the porn's at.
Also, I don't know if it's just because I live in an age where the internet's so readily available, but I've become kind of spoilt to porn. Like, I've never downloaded a single video in my life because I just want to watch new stuff all the time.
High-speed streaming internet porn has really changed the game.
Yeah, like, I've never had to have, like, a secret folder where all my porn is because it's just on the internet. I just clear the history and then there's no trace of it being there anymore.
Pornographic ninja.
Incognito mode is my savior.
That's what incognito mode is for, right? Let's be realistic. I don't really see many. I mean, I use it to look for Craigslist ads because I don't want that in. You know, if I'm browsing the internet with someone who doesn't know what I get up to, I don't. Oh, check out this.
No, Mum, it's for work. It's for work.
Check this out. It's craigsfunwebsite.com. Oh, whoops. What's that? What's that in the Craigslist casual encounters? What's that? Do you want porn?
Take you to heaven? What? Must be a religious website.
So I also find it interesting. This guy has no. He doesn't want any money for this service. Or if he does, he's not specified it in this ad. He's just a good Samaritan. Yeah, just wants to put a Trojan virus on your computer.
Yeah. Now that you've said that, it does seem very much like...
It's suddenly very, very obvious.
It seems very sinister.
I'm kind of embarrassed I didn't realize that right off the bat.
Give me a private property that you will then put into your computer, the thing you often do internet banking with, and let me just put some stuff on there, like...
What if we contacted him and we just gave him a handful of flash drives?
It's just an inordinate amount of flash drives, and we want different categories on each flash drive.
Yeah, just fill them all up with what you got, and then maybe we can give them away as prizes.
Oh, that'd be great. If you want a Trojan horse, contact us on
your computer. It's purely a souvenir.
Yeah, if you would like a porn USB from this Craigslist guy, feel free to comment us on our Twitter or Facebook at Talk Me Off.
If we get enough responses, maybe we try and get in touch with him.
Hopefully the ad's still up by the time.
Hopefully we can do some sort of dead drop system, because I do not want to physically interact with this person. Just you'll find a cache of blank thumb drives here. Please do what you will with them, and then leave them at this location.
Yeah, does that mean he's gonna have to come to my house with all these porn drives? You'd probably want to meet him in a public place, if meet him at all.
Yeah, no, let's not meet him. I've buried a cache of blank thumb drives at this exact latitude and longitude. Please fill them with pornography and return it
to the exact same location within, you have 48 hours.
Come alone.
So that I can come alone.
Oh, that's great. Should we move on to another question?
Yeah, of course.
This one's great. Someone has stumbled on an ancient secret.
Oh, yeah?
This is Sticky Fingers McGee.
Right.
I've found a particular fingering technique has been able to make every woman I've slept with orgasm without fail. Roughly 6 women.
Every woman. 100% success rate.
Two middle fingers in and up like a hook, then pulling up and down, not in and out. It's so simple, I've never understood all the jokes people make about how hard it is to make a woman orgasm. Is this some sort of amazing secret that no one knows about? It is. It's an amazing secret.
I actually think this may be a trolling question, just because it's... I mean, the guy is essentially talking about G-spot stimulation.
He's found the G-spot.
Yeah.
Fucking National Treasure 4. Quest for the G-spot. How does no one else know about this? Man, when Fingers finds out about the clitoris, his world's gonna change.
He's gonna lose his shit. Yeah, I guess if you were 16 and you'd just discovered the G-spot was a thing, this may be some grand revelation, but for anyone who's touched a vagina, surely you know how this works. Like, in fact, I'm pretty sure there was a video floating around for a while where some gentleman fingered a lady and made her, like, squirt a bunch with G-spot stimulation, because apparently that's how you get it to do that as well. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure this is, like, standard knowledge, isn't it?
You'd think, I mean, if you give a shit about your finger blasting game, then you've done your research. You know, like, where the money spot is.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much a finger blasting expert at this point.
I'm something of an aficionado,
a connoisseur of finger blasting.
It's one of my favorite games. That's just how you do it. I don't really. There's no two ways about it. Like, vary it up for sure.
Yeah, and also don't just like start with that. That's a bad assumption.
You gotta ease into it.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes along with everything else that you do when you are pleasuring a woman. Also, curiously enough, the male G-spot, aka the prostate.
Call it the P-spot.
The P-spot.
Yeah, people who aren't insecure about, comparing the male organs to vaginas.
I don't know. I don't suppose the same tactic would work.
No, I'm pretty sure that's roughly the same.
Is in the same location.
It's similar position. I mean, it's up your asshole, so it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, and I believe texturally it'll feel a little bit different. I've been told it feels like a walnut as opposed to someone compared the G-spot once to chewed up gum.
Oh, so you've never gone in and just sampled your own?
My own G-spot.
P-spot.
Oh no, yeah, we were talking before about slipping the cheeky finger. I never got the walnut reference.
Yeah, no, walnut. They're kind of very solid and a little bit wrinkly.
Yeah. Maybe if your prostate feels like a walnut, maybe go to a doctor.
Yeah, I think that's what a prostate exam is for. If it feels like a walnut, you might have a problem. It feels like a very smooth walnut.
So not a walnut at all.
just a walnut-sized, gland.
Yeah, it feels like a small endocrine gland.
Yeah, so sticky fingers, try this out on yourself.
Finger blast yourself and reply back. Let us know your findings, you explorer of orgasms.
All right, so the two middle fingers in and up like a hook. That's your second and ring finger. Your rude and ring finger.
Not
one
the middle.
From each hand.
Yeah, I mean you could, but that's implying
don't flip her the double bird from inside. That's just rude.
The double deuce. No, yeah. So, and also I've been there's like variations on that. So the same hook, you can do like a come hither kind of beckoning.
Yeah, that's my trick.
Not necessarily like, you're not like trying to puncture back out through her pelvis. Like,
I mean, ease up to that.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to go for gold, you can.
But yeah, like the Neo, the Matrix. Come on, let's fight. Motion, the beck and fall.
Such an obscure reference. That one scene in the Matrix where Neo beckons his hand forward.
Yeah, it's like that. Ideally, the same pose and everything. Just two fingers up there and. Come on. We should probably stop posing for a podcast again. The recorded audio format really isn't doing justice to...
No. I mean, it's funny when you do it to me, but yeah. Not finger me, the gestures.
Folks at home can use their imaginations.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some of that in future episodes.
Yeah, then no, that's just how you play a vagina, though.
Like a fiddle.
Thanks for sharing that with us anyway, Sticky Fingers.
And for anyone who
probably not the biggest secret.
And anyone who wasn't aware of this, I did say some shit before about, well, but like, this is a handy tip. And like, if you didn't know it, now you do. And go forth and give some orgasms out.
Yeah, if you've got access to a vagina that you want to try this out on, please do. And again, let us know how you go.
And that they want you to try it out on them.
Yeah, that's what I mean by access, like consenting access, dude. Come on.
We shouldn't have to say this all the time. Assume whenever we say go fuck someone, it's consensually.
A consenting adult. For the love of God.
Adult is important as well.
Actually, I've been delving into another area of Craigslist. I've found that the missed connections area is something of a gold mine. Yeah,
so missed connections are another part of the personnel, like the personals section. Essentially, if you started chatting to a girl and then situations arised where you had to part before exchanging numbers, you go on Craigslist and you write out, perhaps they will find you and rekindle that spark you felt.
You describe that moment where you met and you pray to God that they're checking Craigslist misconnections looking for you as well.
I mean, if they are, it must be fate. Because, I mean, I can't imagine it's a very commonly visited section of Craigslist.
I've got 3 here that really great examples of that way to meet someone, that right. Special someone who you lost. Maybe you waited too long.
And maybe the lucky ladies and gentlemen who are these posts are referring to are listening and they can get in contact.
Oh my God! If you're listening to our podcast and you're the missed connection and it all works out, oh please let us know. That would be the most magical thing.
Oh, I would feel really good about myself if I knew that I helped 2 people get together because of our fucking podcast.
All right, so this is now the segment. We're trying to help people find their misconnections.
Yeah, looking for love.
So if this is you, please get in touch. This is a male for male, 36-year-old man. One lived at. The other had reddish hair and loved Titanic. Again, we should probably bleep that out.
What?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a known place.
But how are they going to know that they were there? Like, how will they know?
That's true. I'm sure a lot of people live at.
And it's like a place that's like got 4 houses in it.
One lived at. The other had reddish hair and loved Titanic. I remember you from long ago. One of you loved Titanic. The other lived at. You had something I loved to play with. If you remember, please reply with what it was I liked. I will know you by the picture of it. What could that be?
Either his pet or his dick is the only thing I can think of.
Oh, that's the only 2 possibilities.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens, this particular individual is going to receive a ton of dick pics from this post.
I also think that it's really vague. You liked the Titanic and had red hair. I mean, I have red hair and I didn't mind the Titanic. Is he talking about me?
You didn't mind the Titanic, but you didn't. No, they loved the Titanic.
Oh, okay, I guess because I've only seen it once. I could probably be excluded from that.
Yeah. Do you know anyone who lives at?
I don't even know what it is.
Me neither.
I assume it's somewhere in Perth.
God, I hope it's not just like one person's house.
It's like an estate. There's like a small family that live there.
If you think you might know what it was that this person liked to play with, send us your suggestions. Put them on our Facebook page. That'll be good for a laugh. We'll make a post. Leave your comments. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, that'd be funny actually.
That'd be good for a laugh. I got another one here. This is great. This is number 53. This is women for men. I bought a kebab at 12:30, but it's stated in military time 0030.
Yeah, perhaps a military background.
You served me. I was number 53. Tell me what I ordered and what I look like. I remember you being told to serve me. I think you're cute. Tell me. Dude works in a kebab shop. Again, I'm not going to name the place, but...
Wait, was it male for male or woman for man?
This is a W for M.
Oh, okay, so it's actually a woman looking for a guy.
This is a woman looking for the man who made her kebab. I was number 53. Tell me... Man, that's... If he gets it, that is the best kebab shop worker in all of history. Like this was posted 26 days ago as of today. If they haven't got in touch yet and they still remember, oh, number 53. Yeah, I remember that you got the double meat doner with the lot.
Yeah.
And had blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yeah, we shared well, I guess the assumption is that they shared an electric moment where they stared longingly into each other's eyes while
that's the one kebab out of the 500 fucking kebabs I make every night that I actually remembered.
Yeah, maybe he's just really passionate about his work and he remembers every single kebab he's ever made. He's like Rainman. He's like Tuesday 8:30. I made 2 chicken kebabs. I made 1 doner with garlic sauce. Hold the lettuce. Like he could be just like a savant with kebabs.
This episode is now called Kebab Shop Rainman.
I love it.
Oh, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, best of fucking luck. Hey.
I mean, you said you had one more.
Well, yeah, we got 3 of this. This is my absolute favorite, so I saved it for last.
Oh, okay.
Your birthday night out, taxi driver. It's an M4W.
Okay.
In Perth, just Perth. somewhere in Perth.
Well, I guess if he was a taxi driver, he probably took her from one area to another, so you kind of had to be pretty vague.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, this is great. 8 or so years ago, you celebrated your birthday, maybe your 21st. I dropped your group off in the city. You sat in the front, and we really connected. I know you felt it too. Would love to hear from you. 8 years!
That's pretty,
We were giving shit to the guy who waited a week.
That's true, I totally forgot about that.
Oh, we really connected, but I've just spent the last 8 years, like, deliberating. Oh, should I put it up on... Maybe he's just discovered misconnections, and he's been thinking about this for 8 fucking years.
That's probably been the case, and, like, I can just imagine that if he's still a taxi driver, like, every Friday night, every Saturday night, he's driving around the city just like, one day she'll come back into my taxi and we'll finally get to be together, and, like...
8 years of that didn't pay off, so frustrated, he's finally turned to the Craigslist misconnections.
Yeah, the undeniable source of rekindling your love.
So she's 29 now. She was getting dropped off in the city for her 21st. I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember any of that night anymore.
I'm pretty sure she may already be seeing someone else. Like,
yeah, she could have, like, had and lost her greatest love in this time.
She could have found the wonders of vagina and turned to lesbian.
She might have been that way all along. All she did was sit in the front seat of his taxi.
Yeah. So essentially what this guy is saying, you were nice to me and I have weird issues with connecting to people.
It's the only connection I've felt in 8 years of driving people into the city to get drunk. Please get in touch. Craigslist misconnections.
So that's one of the things. I feel like if I've ever had a connection with someone to the point that I'm like, maybe this had become something. If it got to the point that they were about to leave, I'd probably ask them, hey, do you want to maybe exchange numbers or Facebook or whatever? Like, I feel like, I don't know, call me an opportunist, but I would try to not let that slip by. Surely
that's frowned upon in the taxi industry.
Oh yeah, I mean, maybe there's some kind of like, don't. I mean, because there was
maybe there's a rule like, oh, if you do feel a connection with your passenger and you would like to see if you could take it any further, you have to wait 8 years.
It's like a statute of limitations or something.
Minimum 8 years distance between that one cab ride before you can legally try to make any contact.
Of course, it's like a well-known fact. Everyone knows that taxi drivers have to wait 8 years before they can hunt someone down.
Maybe they'll just flicker a number like, oh, I really felt something here. Call me in 8 years.
Oh, maybe you could even just disguise it as like a business transaction. I know that there are a lot of like freelance taxi drivers who will just give out business cards trying to get more money. They could just be like, hey, if you want to ride back, here's my card. Done. Now
do not try and date me anytime in the next 8 years.
Oh, I will get fired, yes.
Taxi law.
You understand. That was great. I really like the ones that are like, oh, it's like 44-year-old dudes being like, oh, back when I was 6, we were neighbors and we used to get on a lot and I had my first kiss with you when I was 12, so hit me up, like...
hit me up, I'm still really lonely.
It's been a hard 30 years.
30 years, that's still the only meaningful connection I ever had.
Oh, Call me. I really hope that there's no one out there listening who's had that kind of thing, and we've just been laughing about how ridiculous it is. And meanwhile, there's just solitary tear just drips down his face while he's like...
We got 2 episodes into our podcast before we revealed our true nature as fucking monsters.
Yeah. I mean, I would raise my hand and say I'm more of a fucking monster than you are, but that's still not saying much.
That means a lot to me, though. Thanks, man.
Anytime.
You've been listening to Talk Me Off. This is it's been a treat. I am spent.
Oh, yeah?
I have nothing left for you.
I'll get you a towel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I need a cigarette.
Actually, I can go. I wouldn't mind one as well.
And then and we could maybe go get some breakfast after this.
Yeah, and then we can plan our lives together.
Thanks for listening to Talk Me Off. You can find us at facebook.com/talkmeoff and on Twitter @talkmeoff.
Yeah, I mean, it's spelt how it sounds. No tricky spelling. No weird hyphens in between anything. Just Talk Me Off.
Very simple, one word. We got a nice anonymous discreet form where you can submit stories and questions to us, and maybe we'll just fucking make fun of you like jerks. Maybe we give you some actual helpful advice.
One thing I was also just thinking about perhaps opening a Reddit group, because there is that whole anonymous nature of Reddit that doesn't exist on Facebook. So
smart.
if you want to drop up some comments about a feature fetish that you want us to explore, but you don't want everyone in your friends list to know that you like having small ornamental Chinese figures inserted inside you, like, you can just send us an anonymous message on that. We'll probably check it once. If you're interested, like, if you want us to do that, we'll, let us know and we'll get it started.
Also, if you don't mind combing the horror that is Craigslist for hilarious posts, send those into us too. We'll use it all. Do all the work for us, please.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you. I got shit to do.
Very busy people. I want to say thanks to Badman Incorporated from Newgrounds.com for the use of our theme tune.
Oh, yeah, thanks for that. I actually really like it.
It's a banging tune.
Yeah, a good tune to bang to.
Absolutely. If you've banged to that tune, again, get in touch.
Yeah.
This has been Talk Me Off. I'm Chris.
And I'm Mark.
Thanks for coming.